Las Vegas. Look, Conor McGregor has his army here this week, but there's a lot of Louisiana in Las Vegas as well with Dustin Poirier and these two dudes, the new host of DC and RC, the double champ, Daniel Cormier and Ryan Clark. First of all, guys, good to be with y'all because we talk MMA and UFC all the time, but to be able to do it in person at a big fight, again, DC, that energy is building right now.
It's unbelievable. You go inside the arena right now for the weigh-ins, and it's crazy how many people are in there. I took Ryan in there for a second. I go, Ryan, this is only for Conor McGregor. Nobody else's weigh-ins look like that. They may be 7,000 people inside that arena waiting for Conor and Dustin to step on the stage.
But that's what Conor McGregor does. Like, I'm a guy who is a fan. I'm a guy who loves Conor McGregor, and that type of energy is what the UFC needs. And he brings it outside, but also inside the octagon. And so to have this weigh-in be fired up already, you know what it's going to be like tomorrow night.
So let me ask you this, DC, because there's so much at stake for both fighters in this fight. For Dustin Poirier, this is the biggest payday of his career. For Conor McGregor, he's trying to get back to the dude he once was. But also, the winner will fight for the 155 belt against Charles Oliveira. With all of that at stake here, how do you think that impacts what we see tomorrow night?
I think these guys are both champions, right? Both have held a portion of the title. Dustin being an interim champion, Conor being the double champ. It will play a part. But the reality is, these guys are so well-versed in competition. It won't put added pressure. The pressure comes for Dustin Poirier in the form of getting back out in front of the fans, as he said he doesn't really want to do. And for Conor McGregor to just get the magic back, right? When he would say, I'm going to knock this dude out, and then they would go to sleep. It's finding those little victories in the octagon, not necessarily the championship, because I think Dustin choosing this fight over the title fight shows what's important.
Well, the big thing is both of these men think they're the best at 155. I think if you ask them right now, they feel like this is the fight for the best 155-pounder in the world. And so they got to go out and focus on this. It's not about what happens next. When you stand in front of a man and he's in front of you trying to knock you out, trying to put you to sleep, like Poirier said yesterday, it was Conor sleep, not Conor fast. You know you got to be focused on the here and the now, and I believe both of these dudes are.
You know who's licking their chops with Charles Oliveira?
No doubt.
I mean, he's got a big fight on the horizon regardless.
And he's going to be sitting cage side tomorrow night. RC, let me ask you a big picture thing, because you've competed at the highest level, winning Super Bowls in the NFL, but also in the course of those championships, there are certain teams that you faced multiple times, and you had that hatred. It wasn't a trilogy.
Baltimore Ravens, you can say it.
Okay, Baltimore Ravens and the Steelers didn't get along. But you have that energy and emotion, but you can't let it manifest itself negatively in the cage. How do you expect these two guys to handle that come Saturday?
Listen, that's difficult. You even heard Dustin Poirier talking about walking out in front of the fans and the atmosphere and the chaos and all the different things that you have. You have to quiet that, right? When you take off that shirt, when they make sure your mouthpiece is there, when they check your cup, you have to say, you know what, now it's time to be focused on my job. It's time to be focused on the training. And I think both of these guys will do that, but I expect Conor to be explosive early and Dustin to understand he has to weather that storm.
It's affected me negatively before, right, with the Jones fights. I hated him so much that the first time we went in there, I had an adrenaline dump. We got through the first 3 rounds, and we went balls to the wall, and it was a fantastic fight. The energy was crazy. We were going insane. And then by the 4th round, I had nothing left because I was carrying all the emotion of how much I hated him, how much I disliked him. We got into the press conference fight and everything else. These guys have to quiet that. And when you look at Conor McGregor yesterday at the press conference, it looks like the Conor McGregor from the Khabib press conference, where he was really animated and angry.
So we'll see how that plays out. But Dustin Poirier, he said himself, he got into the emotion the first time they fought each other. He said, I've never hated a guy more that I'm about to fight. He was chill as hell yesterday, so we'll see how that plays out. But again, be sure to check out the new show, DC and RC, on YouTube, ESPN Plus, and anywhere you get your podcast. And Chael Sonnen, he's got a new co-host as well, the Chael Sonnen Show with George Sedano. Be sure to check that one out on ESPN Plus. But